held up by these.
This has got some grip anyway. That has more light. Here, they tried to hoist that.
There's a flagpole.
Whenever I'd fly into Europe, whether it was through Amsterdam or something, you know, constant butterfly trees and
So I wanted to talk to you about today. I do want to talk to you about last night as well. So we'll just go through the whole thing. Just picture it. I didn't take any videos of it happening. That would have been cool if I did, but I wanted to be fully in the moment when these things were occurring. So last night, I went to a sound bath, which was very cool. I've only done sound baths on YouTube. So I went to an in-person one. Never been before. It was very cool. And I was almost scared at some points. I'm like, is it supposed to be this intense? Like, I almost at some points felt like I was like on drugs or something, because the woman that was doing it was all the way across the room. It was a pretty large studio room, and I was on the, like, one of the farthest away spots you could be, and she was doing the bowl, making the sounds, and the sounds were right in my ear, like surrounding my head, and it sounded like she was doing the bowl right here, and the sound just covered me, and that's when I got scared. I was like, is everyone experiencing this? Like, am I don't know. It was my first time, but then I kind of got used to it as the class went on, and it was pretty cool. It was kind of relaxing. We all just like laid down, had blankets over us on a yoga mat, had pillows. We were getting cozy. She would go around and like play like chimes, and she would hit them, and it would sound really nice. And some of them were just like dreamy, almost like the sounds in movies where it like fades to a dream, and it was interesting. So lots of very interesting sounds, and some of the sounds were very invasive. Would go again. We went through the chakras, took the time to be mindful, and then today was a workshop it was like an arts and movement workshop. So the movement piece was us dancing. So we were just all outside. It was a nice day out today, and we all danced. She put music on. It was a little hard at first. It was like, I was definitely worried about people looking at me and like making eye contact with anyone else. And because it's hard to just let loose and dance in front of other people. The only time I'm able to fully let loose is when I'm by myself, obviously, for me. Or if I'm in front of Matt. If Matt's there, I don't care. We went through a few different songs, and it slowly got easier, got more into it, and it was a pretty cool and unique experience. Like, I can't say that I've danced in a circle with a bunch of strangers before. Not often that I get to just dance with people, you know? Like at clubs, you might dance with people, but this was like broad daylight dancing together. So very nice, very joyful. And then we did a arts and crafts sort of piece of it, where we did mandalas, which I felt like there wasn't a bunch of guidance for how to do that. So I kind of a little bit just went off and did my own thing. I don't know if I like how it turned out. Here, let me show you. I have it right here. Yeah, I can't really show you like me dancing, but I can show you what I made for the art piece. I made this and I just picked out 3 different markers. The markers were really cool. It was like art pen, like paint pens, but I chose pink, purple, and varying shades of that because that's just what I was attracted to in the moment. And then I would say this is my favorite part, is we did collages. And I've been doing lots of collages recently. Like I've been scrapbooking and doing stickers, and I got a collage book recently. So this is like my thing right now. I've been doing this a lot and enjoying it. So when I saw it on the table, I was like, ah, I got so excited. But here she is. If you can see it. It's got lots of different things. I just picked out a bunch of cute pictures that I liked. There was a bunch of magazines. There was a bunch of like books where you could cut things out. There was some things that were already cut out. And we just had scissors and glue and made a good old collage. And I took this cutout because it reminded me of Matt because of his Halloween costume that he's doing. He's being a wizard with lots of tricks up his sleeve, and that just reminded me of him. So 2 very like spiritual things back to back, which is very nice. And it's always like feelings. Like, what do you feel when this happens? Like, notice your feelings, notice your intuition. What does it feel like? And a lot of the time I feel like I don't necessarily feel anything, which can be hard. I'm trying to tune in. So it almost feels like I'm not connecting to that source inside myself. It doesn't feel the way it has felt in the past. Like, I've felt when my heart chakra opens. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to have your heart chakra be open and feel that love. So it's like when we're going through guided meditations about that, and I don't feel that, it's like, oh, am I doing something wrong, you know? When it's not that intense of a feeling. But it also depends on if your heart chakra is already open or not. You know, like in that moment, my heart chakra was probably closed and it just like fully opened, or, you know, if your heart chakra is already slightly open, it's not going to feel very much different. Something else we did during the class was, it was like intentional questions or something. Introspective questions and statements. So we had to say these statements to ourselves. Very personal ones. Logically, some of these statements hit me and I'm like, yeah, like there's a hitch in that one. Like I don't fully feel like I'm letting myself do that one. But feeling wise, I didn't feel anything. And that was the whole point. She was like, feel it. Like if you feel some hesitance when you say this statement, then write it down. And we can go through these questions after and really examine why that is. But personally, all the questions were very personal and deep. But I didn't want to get that vulnerable with all those people around me, you know? So I didn't write anything down. But I think if I redid this by myself, which I could, I have the printout right here, then I would do that. But I didn't feel like I could be that vulnerable in front of everyone. And I would give her that feedback. Bye! I'm back. My eye has started twitching again. It was twitching. It's like my eyelid twitches when I'm under stress, I guess. It stopped for a while. It actually was happening a lot at work. And then just like randomly when I'm talking to people, I'll like feel it twitching. But recently it's been happening randomly. Like it's sort of happening right now. And when I look in the mirror, like I can literally see it twitching. And I actually got this like homeopathic medicine for that, literally for, I don't know, like it was either for like muscle twitches or like, it might have been specifically for eyelid twitching. Holy shit, that's cool. I don't know if the camera caught that, but it was a cauldron steaming. That's sick. I'm eating a pizza right now. I just got a pizza from the grocery store, one of the only grocery stores around here that actually sells prepared food. I wish it was a bit closer to our house. It's like 20 minutes away, but it's hot and fresh, but it's so greasy, so drippy. So I had to be really careful while eating it, not to get it on my clothes. Because this is a new shirt. This is my first time wearing it, and that would be tragic. Getting grease and oil stains on your clothing is the worst. But I think I've gotten out stains in the past with just some dish soap, and it's worked pretty well. But it's better to catch them when they're fresh stains rather than old ones, because those set. There was a guy that was doing a guitar yard sale. He just had like 50 guitars out on his yard. I want to see if he's still here. I doubt it, because it's like 6 p.m. I'm so tired, I just want to rest my eyes. Alright, I'm gonna go get gas, and I'll see y'all next time I see ya. Hey guys, my left eye is hurting so bad. I woke up and it's just hurting. And I think the reason for that is because since yesterday I drove 4 hours, and my left eye is much worse than my right, and I need to update my glasses to accommodate for that. I think my left eye was straining a lot in those 4 hours. It's like one thing to do a 10-minute drive like every day or whatever, but 4 hours back to back, straining my eye. No bueno. I wish that I could just make them better, and then I wouldn't even need glasses, instead of getting worse. And you know what fools me? When I got diagnosed with type 1 and I started going on insulin for the first time, my vision completely changed. It did a 180 flip. So right now I'm distance vision. I can't see far in the distance. But what happened once I got on insulin was that I could see perfectly fine in the distance, which was crazy, but I couldn't see up close, which was also crazy. I've always been able to see up close, but I couldn't read the words that were right in front of my face in school and everything. I had to have other kids read for me in class, and then I think I even had to get some readers. It was just bonkers. And it's like, if something like that can happen, then why can't I do something to make my vision better? But I feel like you have to sacrifice something to gain something else. So it's like, what would be sacrificed? So I'm like, why can't my eyes be better? I guess in that scenario, that was a sacrifice, because I suddenly couldn't see in front of me, but I could see far away. So it's not like it was fixed, it just flopped and did an opposite, which I still think is crazy. Like, things like that happen. Crazy things like that happen. And that was my body's reaction to getting insulin again.